Behind the scenes of the RMS Titanic. The Titanic sunk on April 15, 1912. It took 3 hours for the ship to be underwater. The Titanic was built using watertight doors that could be sealed with simply a flip of a switch. The doors connected compartments that ran throughout the bottom of the ship. 4 compartments could be flooded at one time without the boat sinking. That means, with only little damage, the ship could still stay afloat. Everyone knows why the Titanic sunk, but not everyone knows that wasn't the only reason. When the ship ran into the iceberg, the Titanic started to have problems. Each compartment started filling up fast with the cold Atlantic water. At one point, there were at least 4 compartments flooded. This wouldn't have been a problem for the ship until the 5th one started to flood. After that, the Titanic went down. They had other construction problems also. The rivets were a major contribution to the construction problems of the sinking of the Titanic. Rivets are like nails and screws and need to be strong enough to hold things together. These rivets were made out of pure iron, which is weak and crumbles very easily. Because of this, the rivets on the Titanic could have either crumbled or deconstructed some of the plates. On top of that, there could be water that could be let in, which would lead to further flooding. The standard rivets for that time are made out of wrought iron, which is much stronger than pure iron. The pure iron is much less expensive and easier to get, so the Titanic chose to use that option. Wrought iron can be used to make door handles, railings, and fences, and much more. Every big ship needs lifeboats, and that is no exception for the Titanic cruise ship. There could have been a significant amount of lifeboats used on the Titanic, but only 16 were actually used because they thought that the ship was unsinkable. They were wrong, and when the Titanic did sink, they could only hold about 1,100 passengers, while there were a little over 2,200 passengers on the ship. When the ship did sink, they could only bring about less than half of their passengers on lifeboats. They didn't even fill up the ships to full capacity when the ship did sink. They filled them up, women and children first, by class. Few men escaped from the sinking ship. The people on the Titanic and the Titanic itself will forever be remembered to this day. And that concludes Behind the Scenes of the RMS Titanic.